Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. We're going to college basketball. We've got another blockbuster game on Saturday as we've got Virginia going against Villanova. Great matchup in this one is you've got two contrasting styles. You've got Virginia offensively playing very well, just coming off a big win in Notre Dame on Tuesday night. And you got Villanova stubbed their toe at Marquette, but this is a team, Villanova, that plays great defense. Preston, I'll start with you on this one. As I said in the last video, did Villanova get caught looking ahead? Marquette surprised them. Marquette's played well the last two games. They beat Creighton and Villanova back-to-back. Of course, Creighton without their star player for the first time in that one. But what do you make of last night's games?
Well, I don't know if they were really looking ahead either because they were up by 15 with 6 or 7 minutes left. And then all of a sudden, Villanova just collapsed at the end. To be honest, I had the game on for most of it. Didn't have a bet on it, but was just watching. Villanova just did their thing. They were up 15. I changed it on one of my screens, and someone texted me and said, "Oh, fun Nova melt." And I was like, what? And I changed back, and they lost by 2. I thought maybe they just didn't cover the 5.5 because my friend had a bet on it. They actually lost the game outright. So I didn't see actually what happened in that ending. I'm sure there was just a lot of missed shots and turnovers, and then they couldn't stop Marquette, whatever it was. I think they actually tied the game and then gave up a game winner is when I looked at the play-by-play at the end. But I don't think they were looking ahead to Virginia. It's interesting because they have these games, like we talked about the Kentucky-Kansas one, where it's not a conference game. And so, how much do they really care, like Kansas, the point that Tony made in the other video. And I give both teams credit here for the fact that the Nova and Virginia are playing each other at this point in the year. I think that's pretty cool that they're even scheduling it. So it'll be a fun game. For Virginia's side, I actually had Notre Dame -1 last night. Never really had a chance. It felt like every time they cut it to 3, 4, or 5, Virginia would just pull away again. And Virginia is a team I actually don't think is very good. They're definitely not as good as they've been in the past. They're not as talented. I think they've kind of shot better than they are, and they just haven't really played anyone that could take advantage yet. But they're a team I'm not probably going to be betting against them this weekend. But come tournament time, if there's a 13 or 14 seed that matches up well, they can shoot the 3 a little and doesn't turn the ball over a ton. Then in a game that Virginia likes to minimize possessions, generally when you're the better team, you want to try to maximize possessions to increase your edge. If there's any team that gets hot against them and they themselves. For some reason this year they've relied on the three-point shot a lot more, and they've had a lot of games where they've shot 50+%. That's not going to last, in my opinion. I just think Virginia is kind of on the regression slope eventually. I didn't catch it against Notre Dame. Maybe it's this weekend, but I'll probably be staying away.
Going into last night, Tony, talk about the difference in styles and how good of defense that Villanova plays. They had only allowed one team in the last 10 games to shoot better than 45% against them. So they play good defense, and a team like Virginia that likes to shoot from the outside, if you're playing a good defensive team and they rebound well, could be a long night for you. And as far as coming off of a win, Virginia, that was a huge win for them in the ACC last night, beating Notre Dame, who had been playing so well in there. But I agree with what Preston said. The rest of their schedule, I think that they've played a softer schedule by far, Virginia, of some of the other teams in the ACC. What are your take on this one?
Well, I think Preston's accurate. UV's played above their head. If you look at the HS numbers as well, they're 6-1 against the spread on the road. I placed this game, I would have thought, let's have last night disappear. Villanova doesn't lose. Virginia doesn't beat Notre Dame to death, really. They shoot almost 50% from three-point line, when Notre Dame shoots, I think, 16%. They get out-rebounded. Notre Dame's out-rebounded by 20. Now, Notre Dame's not big in the paint either. That's why that Notre Dame-Florida State game last week we spoke of was a little bit of a surprise that Notre Dame competed around the rim. This is a game where Preston, I think, had it at 5. I thought, I'm only going to consider UV if they're getting 7. But you guys are both, I think, spot on. Moving forward, UV's to play against, especially if there's an adjustment and Villanova's only given 4 or 5. That's probably the play.
Yeah, Preston's got him at 5. I got him 5.5, but I think that the public's going to probably overreact a little bit to the Notre Dame win and probably come closer to your number, which I'm hoping it does, because I do like Villanova in this one. I think they bounce back here at home. I don't like Virginia. I think they are overrated, and I want to go against them coming off the Notre Dame win. This is a team that we talk about what game means more, to which team and so forth. And yes, they're playing a team that was the national champion last year, but for conference play, Virginia, that was just a huge win for them to go on the road into Notre Dame. And I just can't see them pulling off 2 in a row. And the fact that Villanova blew the lead that they blew last night, I just see a great effort out of them come Saturday, and I like them. For me, it's Villanova. Tony, which way you looking?
Villanova, like I said, if the line's 7 or more, it's hard to take Villanova. But if for what it's worth, if a team like Villanova has a revenge factor, it's the only team on their schedule that they didn't beat last year. That's Virginia. A little revenge. Villanova -4 or 5, I'd like.
Passing.
Passing. All right, there you have it. And guys, if you want to save $10 this week at Wager Talk, use coupon code Kansas10. That's Kansas and the number 10. You'll get $10 off. You can use it on the weekend all access if you want, or an individual package. Check it out this week at wagertalk.com. We're going to be back with more. We're going to take a look at the advanced numbers for the Super Bowl and get some early thoughts. That's up next at wagertalk.com.